yo. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Your boy Bones Collectors in the building, aka Ricardo. We got the Honorable Dr. Drew blessing us with his presence today. So, yeah, good afternoon and good. We live in the building. We streaming here on Facebook and on YouTube this afternoon. So, yeah, please bear in mind of that. Good. So let me introduce myself. I'm Ricardo St. Amy, better known as Ricardo St. Amy or Ricardo Richie Bones, Black Star, whatever
Black
you want
Star.
to call me. But I'm here in the building this evening, and I'm here with my best friend, Dr. Drew, straight out of NYC. You know, we, we
aka Andy C in the building.
we did a stint in the Navy together. Edit privacy, public, done. Boom. So yeah, kaboom. We here live this afternoon with Drew, myself, and we have some other guests that are gonna be joining us later on in the program. But yeah, we're here to discuss who would be the better parent in a single family household, be it male or female, or mother or father. Um, so man or woman, who is the better parent in a single parent household?
Yeah.
So we're tuning in this afternoon to let you guys know what our thoughts are. They are not, our thoughts might not be factual to you, but they might be factual to somebody else. Please do your own research. Make sure that you do your own research, because I'm just here to give you the message that it comes to me, and you as an individual got to make sure that the message comes to you. So,
Yeah,
go
we
ahead and
just
introduce yourself, my brother.
oh yeah. I was just about to just put some more addition to what you were saying, some more sauce in the gumbo. But yeah, my name like my brother said, aka Dr. Drew, aka Andy C, coming straight from New York City, NYC. Like my brother said, we've been locked in as comrades for a long time from from our time on the flight deck in the Navy. So we talking about 20 plus years.
20 plus years, bro.
But just like my brother here on the line, we both melanated fathers, dedicated to the cause, what I'm saying, of strong families and single fatherhood. So I'm just here, man, chiming into the conversation, this solution based conversation. This live has been brewing in the background for a while. Those in our circle, because we part of a group of distinguished gentlemen that
Mm-hmm.
are all involved and dedicated fathers, productive individuals in their own right. And this conversation, because we've been watching what's going on out there, in the world, out there in the matrix, etc. Chicago, for just for an example, what's happening with these babies. And we really have been just conversing amongst ourselves, like what could be a solution, what I'm saying, what could be a solution to this epidemic, what could bring some relief to the situation. And we just wanted to add our
Add
contribution.
our
So
contribution. But
yeah.
let me start off by saying this, my people. First and foremost, the ideal family upbringing for our kids is mother and father together.
Yes.
Let's not get this construed that we're trying to push an agenda.
No.
Our agenda that we're pushing here is who is going to be the better parent outside of the family orientation. We want to know your contribution. A lot of people have been saying that the mother would be or the father would be, and we are here just trying to figure this out. Put things into perspective,
Right.
because everybody has their own perspective on this kind of issue or idea. And as a parent, I was a single dad for a while, and so that might be my thing I'm leaning to. I'm supposed to have a female come on, but I'm waiting for her to come on. So at the end of the day, we all have our own quote unquote ideology as to who would be the better parent. And a lot of us in black families have grown up without our dad being in the picture. And here we are just trying to figure this out because as we take in perspective too, if we look at for instance, at Chicago and their dynamic, there's a lot of single mothers who grow their kids in Chicago. Has that been successful?
I mean,
You,
what do the numbers say?
I was about to say that, but so this is where our conversation is going at. We are here to find out who would make the better parent, mother or father, in a single, don't get me wrong, in a single parent household.
So we're not leaning, we're not even touching on the subject of a two parent household. The normal, or what is supposed to be the normal dynamic of a mother, father, child. That right there is the highest success rate that you can ever aim for. As far as percentage wise for your outcome. But
Mm-hmm.
now we're looking at past what should be and what
Normal.
actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we wanna look, just dive into this a little bit in this part one session, and see if we can't come to some understanding, maybe some conclusions.
So, all right, based on some research that I've done, it says that 90% of single mothers in the United States of America who are single parents are also on welfare. 90%. So you have 100 people, or tell us say 10 people, 10 single women, on 10 single women, you have one out of the 10 that is not on welfare. In a single father household,
Wait, you said that's not on welfare? I just want to make sure I heard you clearly.
I said one out of the 10 that is not on welfare. One.
That's not on welfare.
Yes.
So we saying 9 out of 10
Nine out of
are
10 is on welfare.
are on public assistance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I see. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I got that stat. What you were
Yes.
saying.
And that is Googleable. You could Google that. I ain't just talking because I got a mouth to talk. You know what I
Got
mean?
you got a microphone.
Yeah.
Pause go.
Yeah. So you could do your own, like I said from the onset of this program, do your own research. But 90% of single mothers in the United States of America, 90% are on welfare. So you have 10 parents, 10 family, 10 mothers, 10, how my camera is, I don't even know. 10 mothers, boom. 9 out of 10 is on welfare. One is the only one that is not on welfare. One out of 10. So my people, we got to take that also into perspective and
Yeah,
realize
it's
that.
something to consider.
All right then. All right then.
Something
We
to
all
consider.
we also have I'm just trying to pull up my information real quick because I don't want you guys to think that I'm just talking. So yes, we also have stats to show that the trend right now is leaning towards a father being the most successful parent that is growing his kids in
Mm,
today's society due to the fact that a mother is a nurturer. A mother is gonna nurture and spoil the child, whereas the dad is gonna give the child instructions and allow
Mm.
the child to follow these guidelines. If they're messing up, he's gonna correct them. Whereas if a child is messing up with a mother, she might come and, oh baby, I'm sorry, or baby, this, that, and the third. You get me?
Wow.
So, Dr. Drew, let's go ahead with your side of things because I don't want to give these people all of my thoughts at the same time, you know?
No, no, I was really considering these stats that you was bringing out, man. And I don't want the people to be too fired up when you say that the mother is the nurturer, and you know she may not be equipped to instill the proper discipline in
E-
certain type of scenarios.
Exactly.
Now we you know we always have to respect the that percentage of abnormal type of scenarios where the mother is equipped, to be able to be a disciplinarian and a nurturer at the same time,
Same
to
time.
just
Yes.
to sit in two seats with one bottom. Um, so we want to have respect for that, right?
Hmm.
But I just want to submit to you with that stat that you brought out, right? About 90% of single mothers needing to be on public assistance, right?
Yeah.
Meaning that there's some type of financial deficit. And, as we all know, when there's financial deficits, there's stress.
Mm.
There's stress. And in that stress, you know, it's just from our perspective, and this is just from in our opinion. With that type of stress, it may be more of a difficulty to attempt to sit in the seat of nurturer and disciplinarian at the same
Same
time.
time.
Now, also, just to the perspective that we're trying to get around to, we know that the nurturing aspect is necessary for life. We know that for someone to have proper nurturing in their life, a balanced, healthy amount of nurturing in their life, it makes for a more balanced person. But in life, as you progress, you get older. This world is not a nurturing place.
No, it's not.
This world leans more towards discipline and the outcomes of discipline. And when I say the outcomes of discipline, I mean, you know, when there is discipline, the positive outcomes that come from that, and when there's a lack of discipline, the negative outcomes that come from that. You see me? So, when we are talking about children, because this is where we all come back down to is children. If there's a lack of discipline, we get into a situation and a dynamic in our community where we have a Chicago, you know. So yeah, my brother, the place of the nurturer is key. But when we talk about the outcome of children becoming productive adults,
In society.
yeah, that discipline is very necessary, very necessary. So
And
just another coin in the hat of why the father, he may be the better option.
and I don't want to take away from what our mothers have been doing in society at this very moment.
You say you don't want to take away?
I don't want to take away from what they have been doing because
Okay.
at the end of the day, it's not their fault why most of our fathers are not in their child's lives. It's not their fault. It has been a program in the matrix where we take away the male figure from the family and leave them in an unbalanced kind of system. You know what I mean? So in the matrix was designed to where we're gonna disrupt these black people, because if these black people are united in one a cause or one affair, we could destroy them. No, I'm sorry. If these black people are united in one cause or in one affair, they could destroy us as a people or destroy the matrix. And so, in
Mm-hmm.
order to destroy that fabric of the society, so that we don't get attacked, we are going to destroy them by dividing the families. How many white families do you see on divided?
Wow.
That's that's the next thing you gotta ask. Do you see them divided as much as we see black folks divided?
Okay. So somebody might say, like, how are we supposed to see them divided, Dr. Bones? Where will we see them at?
Well,
Now, I would come right back at you by say, okay, so if you saying that you don't see them divided, okay, but you have many examples of seeing us divided.
yes, you see. Okay, let me say, you will see some white families divided. You will,
Yeah,
but
yes.
the majority are not divided as we as the black
No.
individuals are divided. That's my point I'm trying to bring across, because you will see a million. Okay, let's say you have a spectrum, right? 10 families.
Mm-hmm.
In the white side, you might see four divided out of the 10.
Mm-hmm.
In the black families, you might see eight divided out of the 10. So that is where I'm drawing my scenarios from. You get what I mean?
That's
Y-
correct.
if you follow, and if everybody's following my logic, you
Mm-hmm.
don't. The matrix is designed to divide us as a people.
Yeah,
Us
melanated
united,
folks.
us united is a problem. Us divided, hooray, hoorah. You get what I mean? And that is where we have the destruction of the black community,
Mm.
being that we as a people are so divided.
Mm.
So Drew, hit me with your comeback on that. What do you think about that?
All right, so um and I'm glad that we keeping this topic central to those that look like us. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? The melanated community. Because of course, because we are melanated fathers, this is our greatest concern. But even away from that, this is where the greatest need is at. Okay, so and just taking a moment to compare stats, you don't have a great deficit when it comes to the outcome of children. So, let's just say each graduating class, if you would, you don't have a great deficit in these other communities.
No.
So when we talk about, you know, the Asian American, the Indian American, and so on and so forth, just to give you some example, you don't have a great deficit in. And when I say deficit, I'm not just talking about in one area, one category. In many categories, they say the school to prison pipeline. That phrase in itself, we know when you say that phrase who that applies to.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't apply to any other community but our
But the
community.
black
So
community.
So for those who may say, well, well, what about these people? What about those people? We want to, because we're not Superman, right?
No.
We can't fly to China in 10 minutes. So I say that to say this: we only have two hands, and we can only deal with one problem at a time. So for a man to look outside of his community to try to solve problems, he must solve the problems in his
In
own
his
community
communities.
first. So, this is where we at with that. So, I really wanted to drive that point home just to kind of put the naysayers to bed a little bit that, we understand that there may be problems in every community, right? But the stark reality is that our problem is a glaring problem. It's in the face of the entire world, much less to talk about America. So we brought Chicago out just as like a big example, but any major city that you go to, you're going to find similar deficits when it comes to the children. And as fathers, in comparison to some other groups, as fathers, our main and primary objective is the children. So, when we talk about, what our job is, just from a natural perspective, to be protectors and providers, because now, that is a cliche in the matrix, but it's still true. When you talk about protection and provision, this is not just like you shielding the child from harm. You shielding the child also from dangers that may occur in life. So the many pitfalls that can occur with a person who missed out on certain key um, points when it came to their training in life. You step out there in the world and you become a victim.
Mm-hmm.
So part of a man's protection order is to protect that child in preparation for the many pitfalls that can occur in life. Now, when we say protect, we don't mean like, oh, avoid, like you able to like avoid these problems, but to be able to tackle those problems, to meet those problems where they at and come out to be successful. These are all things that a man can give you. So I know in the comments, it's gonna be like, okay, these dudes, they team dad. And you're right.
Yeah, I'm team dad too, but I'm also team family. You get what I mean?
Right. Now when I say that you're right, we are team dad because we are team dad because we are team family. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
Um the statistics show, and we welcome any factual data because this is an open discussion in this part one right here. We welcome actual data where you can compare what it is that we bring out to the table. But
Dr. Drew, hold
oh
on.
yes, I see we have
We got
a
our sister on the live tonight. Sister
greetings,
Thomas, how you
Good
doing?
night.
Good night. Good
I'm
greetings,
night.
good. Good night.
greetings,
Yeah.
greetings, greetings. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good.
All right, good to have you.
So yes, Doctor
Can
Sister
you
Lenny.
you can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yes,
perfectly fine.
can you hear us?
Okay, wonderful.
All right.
Good. So Sister Lenny, we are discussing who would be the better
Mm-hmm.
parent in a single family setting, be it mother or father. Now let me say something about Sister Lenny. Lenny has been in a single mother. She's been a single mom for most of her life, and she grew up in a single mother's household for most of her life as well. I mean, in the beginning of her life, she probably had her dad, but then situations changed, and she was in a single mother growing up, and she became a single mother and grew a child as well. So here she is. So she might have she's gonna have her own side to the story, and that is why I invited her to give us her side to the story. So let's go ahead, sister.
Okay. Okay, good evening everyone. My name is Eleni Thomas. Yes, he said single mother. I have been a single mother for 18 years. My son is 18. Um, if I were to say who is the better one, um, honestly, I'm going to speak as a woman, so I'm going to say a
That's
woman.
what I want you to speak as.
I'm going to say a woman
That's understandable.
and I say that because there are things in a single father relationship that some of the men cannot handle. And I
Such as.
think as a woman, such as some of the nurturing part of life for
Mm-hmm.
children,
Mm-hmm.
some dads cannot really provide, some of them can't really provide the soft side of it, that kind of thing, because most men are expected to be, solid and structured and all of that. So,
Mm-hmm.
the whole soft side of it, I think some of them can't really, deal with that. One of the other things I think they can handle is whole general day to day upbringing and activity or things that children get involved in. Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. We
we
have
here.
we listening to you.
We just silent and
Oh,
listening, paying
okay.
attention to you.
So the day to day, every day, on the hour, all day, all night kind of thing. I think some men cannot handle that. And the mother, trust me, she just sucking it up and she keep going.
Okay,
That's two of the points I would give to support, why, the father.
a mother would be okay. Let me say this
Go
then.
ahead.
I am going to say that a mother can raise a child from, let's say, baby to about 3, 4 years old, and then you turn it over to the dad.
Mm-hmm.
He puts in that, so because from that onset, the child needs a little nurturing, a little
Because
more
that that that
nurturing.
that's actually
True.
I was gonna ask that question of my sister. So not to cut you off, Dr. Bones. Um, so when you say that the nurturing aspect that
The mother bring.
the mother provides, that may be a difficulty for the man. Now, is that throughout the entire upbringing of the child, the training of the child into adulthood, or is that during a certain
Period.
specific period of time in the life of the child, that is a necessity for the child? Like what's your perspective on that? Is that like throughout, let's say from infancy to the graduation of high school? Are you saying that the nurturing um, aspect is necessary, like for the child?
I think it's you that for Lenny.
Oh, you want me to answer that?
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
asking you as because you're the mother, like so. I'm just looking for
Oh,
the logic of the nurturing, um, and the necessity of it. So are we saying from infancy, when a child is born, is breastfeeding, all the way up until the child is ready to graduate from high school, that this nurturing um, quality is a necessity? Is that
mm-hmm.
you saying that is your perspective? It's a necessity?
Okay. I personally think, because I'm gonna say that my child father was not wrong. I basically raised him. I did everything to a certain extent, and I would say for me it went right through because I was the only support he had. I was the one who had to give him everything at the same time. So for
Hmm.
me, I would say right is not to say like I'm in a household with the dad and I can play some of the role and the daddy plays some of the role. No, I just had to do everything. I had to just put it in. So I'm gonna say yes, right through. Even when sometimes they become an adult, because even as adults normally go back to their parents. That's where they feel that they feel safe. They feel like they can say things and they think that they can get the good advice that they need, that kind of thing. So that is why you still find, even as adults, even being married, some of them they go back to their parents to get that form of comfort. So I would say right through.
Okay, okay. All right. I see what you're saying. So you're basing this off of your personal experience, because you didn't have the input of the father at all.
And that's
To a
why I
certain
say,
extent, but he lived with me all of his years, all of my life. So it's
I,
basically my mom and I who raised him.
and that is why I said she's gonna bring a other side to the story that we don't have as men. You get what I mean? Because
Hmm.
both Drew and I, we grew up in both mother and father's households.
Hmm.
That's what we grew up in. Then as we start making kids, we've been single dads in our households. You get what I mean, Lent?
Hmm.
So we have that side of it. And I know
Well,
that you have the other side where you were the single mother growing your son, you know.
hmm hmm
But you see, let me show this too. Where a dad might suck up his pride and ask for help in raising his child in his single family household, a woman
hmm
won't do that. A,
no,
a
because
woman will ask for that help, and that is a problem because in society it takes a village to raise a child. It doesn't just take one parent. And
that's true.
you had your mother there, and then you had your other brothers and sisters, your brother.
Siblings, my siblings, yes.
They contributed to growing that child. You didn't just grow him up on your own.
True,
Like
that's true.
you see why I catch you there now. You see, you didn't just have you alone growing that child. So you had that male figure present in his upbringing.
Yeah, to a certain extent, yes. But more female though. More female.
Well, me and you know Miss Pam. Drew doesn't know Miss Pam, but me and you know Miss Pam. So we know Miss Pam going to say the rule, and that's the rule, and that's that. So
yes.
Cross that. But we know in these families of today that are raising kids today with their, like, for instance, we drawing on Chicago, and it's an American area, but we drawing up for that and saying that a lot of the families there are single mothers, a lot of them.
Okay.
And the tons of violence that we tend to get from that society
and dysfunction
is very heartbreaking, because why? Our kids there don't have that male figure. Either their fathers are deadbeats, or they are dead, or they are in jail. You get my perspective on that there now. So the fathers either are not present because they didn't have a father figure to play a part in their lives when they were growing up. They are either in jail or they are dead. Lenny got cut off, but
she got cut off.
See, but okay, let me read two comments there. I'm seeing Mr. Prospect hitting us with some comments. I personally think that both parents is responsible a reason. A child did mother have something to offer, but child led, and the father has something to offer. What? I don't think none is better. I think two of them need to be raising children. That is very true, Mr. Prosper. We believe that
that's the way nature intended.
That's the way the children should grow. Both mother and father raising their child together.
Yes.
No. Today's society has changed that, because why? If black people raise their kids together, they will become more of a solid community. And in order to divide the black community, especially here in America, in order to divide the black household, we have to send their fathers to jail. We have to kill them. We have to get, I'm sorry, I can't say them things on Facebook. But anyways,
delete them.
We got to get the fathers out of these things, out of the family household, all entire.
True.
So we are here not to say that we don't know the best way to raise our kids. We know the best is mother and father. But we are here to ask the question. And the question is, who is the better parent raising?
So Dr. Bones, I wanna touch on something that you just said. Okay. So you said that for a specific reason, right? Because the objective, hold on, the objective is to neutralize or destroy the solid melanated family.
Yes.
And so in response to that, they removed who?
They removed the father.
The father.
Who would be the disciplinarian? Who would provide?
So in that dynamic, right? Because you know, our brother said in the comments, you know, you need both parents to raise them. Okay, true. But what is the significance of the man that you made such a concentrated effort to remove him? What does the man add to the equation that you made such a solid effort? Because they didn't just do it in one way. There were multiple ways that they orchestrated to remove the father, starting with the welfare, public assistance, and all the rules that went, because, you know, this is all historical. So we're not just, you know, putting in suppositions and things that are opinion based. This is factual.
Let's share the live, my people, please.
Yes.
Let's get discussions. Let's share the live. Drew, before you continue, let me just read 2 comments. There's 3 comments that came in.
Okay.
I think a woman do a better job. The woman have more patience. The woman have love, a whole lot of things a woman offers to a child that a man cannot give. My mom is
I'm listening.
is a hot chicken by herself, and she did a wonderful job. So I stand in on what a mother offers to us and say that a woman will do a better job. Mr. Prosper, I agree with you. A mother does a good job, and that's why I want people to tune in from the onset of this live, because why? I automatically gave up a hats off to the ladies who has raised their kids in our society today. Hats off to them. Because why? They have done a phenomenal job. But based on our circumstances, but we also have to put into perspective that our fathers have been gone from our family household as well. So let me read another comment. Does this mean doesn't this need to be broken down some more? Raising is so general. What about the physical, mental, and psychological aspects? Is one parent better at it all? Mothers can be disciplinarians as well. All right. So Miss Trinidadian Carmen, Trinidad Carmen, yes, mothers can do a very disciplinarian job, because Miss Thomas's mother is a strong moral, and I know Miss Pam from in my community for a while, and I know she's a very good disciplinarian lady as well. But I believe that a father has, okay, for instance, when I talk to my child now, he running about. When I say, yo, come here, automatically that come here translate to stop doing whatever you're doing and come here. But his mother might say, oh, come here. Go ahead, Lenny. I'm listening.
Okay, so you are saying that, but in the household where is the mother alone, trust me, she takes up that role, that same masculine role, you have to take it up. Because I remember growing up, my son, and he would just look at my face and he know what time it is.
Yeah.
And also my mother would say, I would just say, hello, and he know what time it is. Imagine I used to do that with a dog I had. I used to just say, hello, and it's watching me and it's bowing its head. Because I already instilled that in it. So, and there's a point you made that, in the Black society, that they try to extract the men from the family. Then voila, we the women, we have to do it. Because it has to be done. If the father went away for 5 years, you left a 9-year-old. In the next 5 years, you have a 14-year-old. The mother has to do it. So then we are left.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We are left with the choice where we are left with the without a choice but to.
But
that's what I was saying. Go ahead.
Let me say this though. I am not taking away that the family household needs to be ran by both father and mother. But at the same time, our society is not that way. And I believe personally, that's my personal belief, that a father can do a better job in disciplining his children.
That's true.
The mother is gonna give her child or his child nurturing. The mother is gonna be the one to comfort you and to give you that love that the father don't give you. But let's not take away that sometimes the mother fails in that disciplinary aspect of things. Do you get me? She is gonna nurture. She's gonna give love. She's gonna give that baby, come here, let me comfort you kind of thing. A father might give that as well. A father is gonna give that as well too, but he's also gonna give you that structure. where when you go wrong, if let's say your mother say, okay, yo, if you do this here, so I gonna beat you. She might not beat you. Or when
Mhm.
you do wrong with a father, he gonna beat you because we can't say that neither. But here we go
Mhm.
again. You gonna get disciplined.
Yes.
Whereas
Mhm.
the mother might not discipline. She might, baby, come, come, come. And as soon as the child fall down, she gonna run and try to comfort him. Whereas the father might, but get up. You get my point.
Mhm.
Get
Yeah,
up.
yeah. You're making a point. Yeah, true.
That. Oh, baby, you soft. And that's where I believe a lot of our kids are going in the wrong direction when it comes to growth because they
And
grow up
that
so
is why the family need both. But that is not
ah
the case.
Okay.
Not
So all right. So
everybody. Mhm.
all right. So what you saying? What everybody's saying is right. That yes, they need both, right? But
Mhm.
Mhm.
what's presently the dynamic of today's society is that we have a single
Mother.
parent dynamic because the
Mhm.
single parent dynamic is more prevalent. There are less people in our community getting married. There are more
Mhm.
divorces in our community as far as percentage wise. And then there are, unwed parents at a higher rate. So this is the present, not what
Mhm.
we want it to be, what we prefer, because like we said in the beginning, we understand and we actually prefer for the strong melanated family. We prefer the dynamic of man, woman, and child. That's our preference.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
this is not the case. And so when we talk about
True.
the case study of today, because I understand that in your dynamic, um, it may have been successful, but
Mhm.
the percentages of unsuccessful dynamics where the single mother was the head of household, she was both the nurturer and the disciplinarian, the
Mhm.
products from a percentage standpoint
Is
is very low when it comes to the success rate. And so we are discussing a why is it this dynamic if single mothers are thriving in this space of single parenthood, that this dynamic is this way, and then two, because we know for a fact based on statistics that it's not, what could be a potential solution? The other side of the coin is this, right? So now you can correct me if I'm wrong, and Dr. Bones, he can definitely give his perspective because this is all from a perspective standpoint, this next statement. I myself personally have not seen a great percentage of content online in social media world, the matrix, where there are single mothers with the overwhelming response saying how much they love being both the mother and father, how much they relish being in this position of single motherhood where they don't have assistance for whatever reason. And
Mhm.
also, there is a great percentage of the single mother population who express themselves as being disgruntled to a certain way that they have to do this by themselves, that they should be celebrated because their job is so hard, that they have to be more masculine than feminine to be able to accomplish the role as a single mother playing both roles. So we see this, and or should I say, I see this, and you guys can let me know if you see something else from your perspective. But we see this at an overwhelming rate. The rate is so high that we have an artist now that's in the Matrix, and he has rose to stardom and popularity by his single that's out right now that's called "Now You're a Single Mom," and he's basically saying that it can either be one or the other. This is a great thing or this is a great burden. And from the perspective of what I can see out there in social media, this is a great burden. And then from from that, not just that example, when you look at the outcomes as far as children, how unruly they are. Of course, we talk about Chicago, but in most major cities, you know, the violence, the disrespectful nature, these um, portrayals of dysfunction. And we have statistically a high rate of single motherhood. So if it's such a success from an overall standpoint, not just with you, my sister. So I don't want you to think that, you know, I'm just referring to you, but I'm talking about in the realm of single motherhood in this country. If it was such a success, why are our rates and percentages so low? Why is our outcome so low? The reading levels are so low. What's happening? You know, am I missing something? Or, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking at it wrong, you know, so that, you know.
You're missing the light on in your background so we can see your face.
Oh, yeah, it's getting dark. My bad.
Yeah, let me read a couple comments there real quick. Both mother and father take responsibility of their children equally. The way of showing their love and care can be different, but both care for their children, growth, and work towards it. That's a good comment. Next comment is, well, we know the system was designed to oppress Black people and Black men by taking them away from their families and incarcerating them. So does history make Black mothers prepare? So does history make Black mothers prepare to be single parents subconsciously? I believe so. I believe so. Let's continue. Let me read some more comments there. Yes, we are discussing when that's not the case of the two-parent home. We don't need to be in a relationship to be a parent or guardian raising a child. That's true. Balance is key. I agree. These comments are coming in good, brother. If a child have to be with
Hey,
one
listen,
parent,
Selena's going off in the comments.
if a child has to
shout out to you, Selena.
Yeah, Selena, what's up? If a child has to be with one parent, it's best for the child to be with their father. Oh, Mr. Robin, congratulations, my brother. You hear that, Drew? He said, if a child has to be with one parent, it's better to be with the father.
I see you, Mr. Robin. But listen, Dr. Bones, don't get too excited now. They're gonna say that this conversation is very skewed and biased. Take your time, my brother. Take your time. We're gonna get there. Remember, people, this is just part one, right? So, you know, me and Dr. Bones, like, we are not the authority on this. We are just part of the melanated father community, a concerned group of extraordinary gentlemen. And, you know, again, we're just asking questions, and we are asking these questions not in a void, not in a vacuum. We are asking these questions because we have a solution in mind. We are here to help. So let's keep it going. Love the comments. Miss Selena, I don't know if Dr. Bones, you want me to tap in. I can, you know what I'm saying? So you're not the only one reading the comments, but let me know. Let me know how you want me to.
Go ahead. Tap in, my brother. Tap in.
All right. So okay. Man, let me start from the first one. I don't care who lives where. No one should be mentally, emotionally, and financially abandoning children. Is that a reference for men, or is that on both sides of the spectrum? I'm not sure who we're referring to. Then Miss Scott, she says, "How do you think military families raise children on deployment?" That's a great point, but this that's kind of off the topic of what we're discussing here. But I see what you're saying there.
No, it's not off the topic, because sometimes you have either mother or father deployed as a military person, and they got to raise that child. So at the same time, I guess that kind of point too.
That's a fact, but that's what I'm trying to see. Like, is she saying like, you know, let's just say, for instance, the mother's on deployment and the father's left at home to raise the children. Like, are we talking about in a married dynamic, or are we saying, like, you know, one parent is a single one and they had to leave the one with the other? That's why I was saying I'm not really sure where she was going with that one. Okay. Yeah. But, you know, if she could drop it in the chat, we could definitely touch on it. Then she says the goal is to raise them, not control them more than their other parent. Miss Selena, like, what's happening here? I'm not sure who's talking about controlling the children, but in the good book, it does say train up a child in the way that they should go. So for a certain number of years, like it's training. It's like you're supposed to be training these people, these little people who are going to become big people, and then hopefully, we trust become productive members of society. So yeah, we're not talking about controlling children though, but let's go to the next one. Mothers do not need to be checking no married box just to get respect. Step up, tell your male counterparts to take care of their tribe. Why do we have to go there? No, but listen, Dr. Bones and myself, we attempted to distinguish ourselves in this conversation when we introduce ourselves. We are part of a group of distinguished gentlemen who are dedicated, active fathers who are very concerned with the outcomes of their children. So my tribe, if you're speaking specifically about myself and Dr. Bones, our circle is very fortified. And like we told you guys before, we debated heavily behind closed doors if we should bring this topic to the light. But in light of, the recent murder of Julio, we thought, hey, man, we got to say something. So here we are. So, but, we'll bring it back to the tribe, though, just for, advisement.
Miss Scott, do you want to come on screen with us and
Yes,
talk?
you can come on live, my dear.
Yeah, he doesn't make all of you. Come on live with us, man.
Okay, can I go to the next one? Because she's active in the chat. Oh, okay, he's on the phone. I'm gonna read the next comment. Hang out with the other children in your family, nieces, nephews, and cousins of all degrees. Need all family members on deck. Stop leaving them stepkids out too. Okay, I think Miss Scott is making like generalizations, and I agree. In my hood, we watching all kids between us when around each other. Ain't no partial raising out here, LOL. Or I think maybe that was saying at all. Okay, she said it goes for anyone. Okay, I think she's responding. Hey, Miss Scott, come on up. Men belong at baby showers? What? Males can do their daughter's hair. Very true, Miss Scott. It's okay for children to cry out their frustrations. Help them learn the lesson of their tears. That may be referencing to the nurturing part, Dr. Bones. Okay, that was the last comment so far.
We got another one.
Oh,
I think there's a need for more. Wow.
empirical research
to draw any fair conclusion. We need to know the success rate in terms of numbers of schools, dropouts, incarcerations, and sexual abuse, incest.
Wow.
We cannot conclude without sufficient statistical data.
Okay, so he's asking us to bring out like the actual
statistics on this thing. Well, Dr. Joseph, how are you this evening, brother? I like your perspective and your point on there. We don't have all the stats because in preparation for this live, I also discussed this with a lot of different people, and people were saying that.
Well, I have some stats to read.
Okay.
I have some stats to read if I could. Now it won't be along like the full lines of his question, but I just have a couple stats, to kind of like bolster the position of the solution that we are intending to bring to the table, right? Because tonight, this good Saturday evening, we're not participating in gender wars. We are having solution-based discussions, right, Dr. Bones?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me go into this. Just a couple of stats. So, along the lines of income, single fathers are more likely to have higher incomes than single mothers and are less likely to live in poverty. In 2022, 24% of single fathers lived below the federal poverty line, meaning that 76% lived above the poverty line, compared to 43% of single mothers and 6% of married couples. So that goes back to the point that we brought out first, that the highest point, or the highest level of the hierarchy, is the full
Father, mother,
family household,
mhm.
father, mother, child. So this right here confirms that, with only 6% of married couples living below the federal poverty line. Okay, another stat, if I could. Cohabitating partners. Single fathers are more likely to live with a cohabitating partner than single mothers. In 2018, 41% of single fathers lived with a cohabitating partner, compared to 16% of single mothers. So we're talking about the argument of having to do it alone, having to struggle, and everything that comes along with that, that may produce a below quality product of
Let me
a
say that
child.
again. I also
Yes,
said this earlier. A single father is likelier or more likely to ask for help than a
yes,
single mother.
that that actually proves that point right there. So, not to get long-winded, those are just two stats that I want to throw in, because our brother Dr. Joseph made that comment, and so I wanted to just bring out some data that supports the solution-based argument that we intend to bring to the table this magnificent Saturday evening. My sister, not to get long-winded, or Dr. Bones, there you go. Sorry.
Yeah, my sister, go ahead.
I wish to say something.
Yes.
Having, growing my son for all those years together, I'm going to be honest. There is a times when I really needed the father. I
Ah,
needed, like you there, and you see, like, I kind of deal with this, and I, wish he had that father figure to just, give him the masculine part of it. Yes, I
mm,
did. I must say. And it takes a lot on you as a mother, as a single mother. It takes a lot on you, because
Now, my
there are times when you
okay,
kind of
sorry.
deal with certain things. Go ahead.
Okay, my sister, I appreciate you, being candid about that, and it made me just think of a question for you. Now,
Hmm.
I'm trying to, I guess, find a way to say this smoothly. Um, from a preference standpoint, with what you just said, as like, at some points, like, you really knew that it was necessary for the father to be there. Do you feel like that took
Hmm.
away from the nurturing spirit that you had, because you had to kind of adopt a more masculine exterior? Do you feel like that took some of that softness away, or maybe hindered some of that softness in you?
Very much so.
Mm,
Because there are times when you have to be the soft one, but then you still have to be the strong one and the hard one,
mm,
because you don't have the
mm.
balance, so you just have to do it. So it did, and that is
I
one of the
appreciate
reasons
that.
why I felt that at times I really needed the father. Like you there, and you can, boy, I wish your father was there to take care of that. Certain things
Wow.
you wish that the father was there to take up that role, and that
Of
you as
course.
a mother can just ease back a little and
yeah.
just
Of
let
course.
daddy deal with that.
Of course. Of
But
course.
then you have to suck it up and try to be mannish.
Ah.
Because
Ah.
at the end of the day, daddy's not there, so you have to. And that's the time maybe you have to be
Mm,
the soft one, as you say, that the
Mhm,
mommy, the child will normally run to the mommy for the comfort, because mommy will maybe give
mhm.
the little leeway. But then
yeah.
I have to give the structure, and so I put the
And
leeway on the side because I have to do it.
yeah. Hey,
No.
hey, Lenny, I love your answers, your approach to this whole thing, because why?
Yes.
You giving us you giving us so much insight on this thing, because
Yeah.
as you said, as we said from the beginning of our introduction, Lenny was a single mother. She also was grown up by a single mother. So she has that that whole perspective of that single motherhood kind of scenario that she can give
Mm-hmm.
us insight on.
Hmm.
And she's saying that
Mm-hmm.
there are times when she felt weak, where she needed that man figure to be there.
The
And
balance.
despite of her having her brothers there in her life, they were not his dad. You get what I
True.
mean? So yes, she had the male figures present, but they were not his dad. So they
Mm-hmm.
might still give him that level of comfort that the dad would not give him. You get what I mean? Because the dad
Hmm.
was there to provide that structure. I said, sit down, and you got to sit down. Whereas the
True.
brothers might be like, oh, sit down, boy, and he don't listen. Oh, nephew, come here, boy, come. You know, like it's
True.
different. It's
It's a
different.
it's a different energy.
Yeah. So we are not taking away from the fact that no, we're not saying that the parents have to be married. Let's let's miss this comment here now. We're not
Okay,
saying
yeah, yeah.
married.
Let's specify that. Yes, we're not
We're
saying
not
that
talking about that.
because
We're
we in
talking about
2024.
upbringing our kids. The kids don't. They just need to be the
True.
ideal family household is mother,
Co-parenting.
father. Ideal
Co-parenting.
co-parenting. But
Mm-hmm.
today's society has changed that
Mm-hmm.
perspective and has brought it to where we have a lot of single family households going up in the society. Which single
Mm-hmm.
family household would be the
Big.
better for our
Mm-hmm.
kids? Go ahead, Lenny. I saw you raise your hand.
You having said that, it's like even if you and the person are not married or you're not even living together, there are instances where I've seen children, the mother would say, I'm going to call your father. And from the time they know mom is going to call daddy,
Things
you
change.
know what time it is. Cold sweat already. Because they're going to
Well,
call daddy.
that
and
Wow,
yeah,
wow, wow.
I have seen that.
Sister Lenny is raising the
I have
flag.
seen that happen.
Sister Lenny is raising the flag.
Hmm.
Yes, say it. Okay, so like like Dr. Bone said, we come from two-parent household, right? And so in my dynamic growing up, that was pretty much the protocol. Mommy, she'd say, "Hey, stop, stop." You'd be like, "Ah," and keep doing it. You find another way to do it. But the moment she said, "You know what? I'm tired of this." When your dad gets home, the energy instantly
changes.
shifts and changes. Now, it's not just so much from a fear perspective. It's more so like, oh man, daddy don't play that, and he not going for this. Let me get myself together.
Mm-hmm.
So even inside the two-parent household, the dynamic exists where the nurturer knows where the source of the structure comes from.
Come
Not the entire structure, but the source of the structure. Because
Hmm.
both parents, they play a role in that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in today's society, if there was more of
Hmm.
that balance where you had real co-parenting going on, where the mother and father,
Hmm.
they're working more like a team, and the father's role is solidified and respected, we submit that maybe we wouldn't be going through as much of the deficits that we're going through. But because that
Hmm.
masculine energy is inherently missing, there's a big hole there that needs to be filled. So I had a question for you, Sister Lenny. And just throwing it out there, just quick off the top of your head. A lot of us
Hmm.
have seen Boys in the Hood, but
Mm-hmm.
just like in that movie with Trey, if you, and of course, I'm just speaking kind of generally because I don't know the specifics of your dynamic, with your son's father and everything like that. But if you had the
Hmm.
opportunity at a certain point, right? If you had an opportunity at a certain point to shift the roles and send the child to live with his father, where he would be with the father in under the father's home or roof, but you would still be
Hmm.
involved. You would still have the opportunity to nurture, like you would still be in direct contact, but the child would reside in the under the roof of his father. Would you have jumped at that chance?
My one child.
Oh,
You see now, you see the conversation switch to where she's now a nurturer.
Okay.
You see
You know
that?
what, Sister Lenny. I'm gonna let you think about that. We're gonna read some of the comments. I'm gonna let you think about that. I don't want to put you too much on the spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you consider that. Just and look, just think about the whole journey, right? The whole journey. When
Mm-hmm.
your son, he came out of the nurturing phase, the breastfeeding phase, he started
Mm-hmm.
to become more of a man, in his own right, because all boys with
Mm-hmm.
testosterone at some point in time, they have to stick their chest out. It's just natural
True.
law, if you're a man,
Mm-hmm.
because all boys grow to being a man. Just thinking about that whole
Mm-hmm.
journey and then applying that question to it. So we're gonna come back to you. We're gonna check some of these comments because it looks like they're very active. Dr. Bones, I don't know if you want to start it off and take some, and then we kind of bounce back. It's up to you, my brother.
Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
All right. So just started back from when our brother Dr. Joseph put that poignant comment in the chat. Our sister Selena, she came right back. And she said, swearing and a ring ain't gonna stop the babies from coming. True. A lot of times staying technically, and I think she was trying to say single, is more profitable for all involved that we live in a government-controlled society. With Dr. Bones, I think we need to park right there for just a second.
All
As
right.
we wait for Sister Lenny to, and you can jump in, my sister, at any time when you have that answer. I think we need to park right here on this comment, Dr. Bones. It's more profitable for all involved, being that we lived in a government-controlled society. What exactly do we mean by that? Because, when the welfare epidemic started, that was the mindset that, this would be more profitable for the woman to be in the home with the child, the man not to be in the home with the child, and then for the woman to receive government services. We've had 2 generations, going into 3 generations of this type of activity. Can we say that it has actually been profitable for our community?
It's profitable in the let's say in the financial realm, but
Oh,
in the actual raising of our kids, it has not been profitable because we're raising up weaker males or we're raising up weaker children in our society based on the government standard, and
well,
that
Doctor,
is what
Doctor,
I said that earlier too. That is what the government wants us to have, a weaker society. They
true,
don't want us to have a strong society because they know when black people are together, we are stronger.
true.
Separate us, we have a weaker society, a weak mentality. Because look at that. You let's say the government is providing a female with what is that? What is that? What they call it? Child support or whatever.
Child support,
Or whatever the welfare
food
state,
stamps, food
food stamp.
stamps.
You
Hmm.
as a
Welfare.
father can't go inside of the house, or you can't stay in the house because
Oh,
why?
once you come in that house,
True.
The government say you can't be there.
your benefits cut off.
You
True.
can't be there as a father, and that is why I say again, the government is up to a strategy to eliminate the strong black families.
Dr. Bones, I just want to dovetail onto your point right there because we're flying high now. I want to dovetail on your point right there, Dr. Bones. Now, you said that it is financially profitable, but I just want to submit to you, my brother. If government assistance has you living in the projects, is it financially profitable?
No, it's not.
Unless your child's father is Tyrese and you taking him to the cleaners for child support. The average man, how much are you actually getting in child support for one child? Is it actually profitable? When we talk about food stamps, right? Because
Yeah.
you can only, well, now in the era of 2024, you can take your EBT card to Whole Foods, but traditionally, with the restrictions that come with food stamps and where you're able to get the actual food for your child that may or may not be actually nourishing for them, is it actually profitable? What have we signed off for the absence of the father for this quote unquote government assistance? So I just wanted to tag on to that real quick when we talk about profitable. Because what does it gain a man if he
gain the
gain the whole
whole world, but lose his
world
soul?
and he lose his soul?
And lose his soul.
Hey, the honorable doctor is out there in the building tonight. Yo. Yo. Hey. Hey. You know what I feel like, dude? We've been on for an hour.
Wow. Has it been an hour already?
And
Mm-hmm.
I think we have given our viewers a lot to digest for the evening. I don't want to
True.
overfill them. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So I want us to be able to tune in next week or a couple weeks from now for part 2, because I don't want to overfill you.
Okay, so we're gonna give Sister Lenny a whole week to think about that question.
No, you have to answer the question.
No, let me answer my question now. Okay, I'm going to answer my question on the way that I feel and my whole upbringing of my son. Oh, I would have, I don't think full time, no. Like to say that my son is going to go live with his father, no. My son has to live with me. But I would have wanted him to be around where I know he can spend quality time with him. Because I always say that fathers need to spend quality time with the children. It's not about coming and giving a $20 or drop a biscuit or whatever. Quality time where you can, create memories with your children. So I would not have a problem like with my son spending a weekend, a week, maybe the summer with his father or his father's side of the family. I don't have a problem. But to say live fully, no. My son will stay because he's the only one that I have. So I guess maybe that's my reason.
Maybe you need to make another
that's
one.
a reason
Because he's an
the
only
one
child.
that you have.
You need to make another one.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's my reason.
Okay.
As my only child, no.
And you know what, Dr. Bones?
So maybe the mothers that have maybe 6 and 7.
Well.
I was just saying, maybe the mothers have 6 and 7.
I think this is a great place to pick up. I don't know if Dr. Bones, you want to cut it right here, but I think it's a great place to pick up on our next segment.
Yeah.
Because, I think that train of thought is more common than not. And I think it's something that we can really build on, get some, participation in the comment section, and really delve into this solution-based conversation that we have, Dr. Bones. I think that was a great point that my sister brought up.
Look a comment that came in. Selena said, unfortunately, you took my input as a chance to downside the income sector.
Oh,
Positively. Considering college age and family size.
Miss Selena, I'm sorry that's your perspective. That was not where I was coming from. Please, my sister, please don't take it as I was trying to slight low income situations. I was not. I was just pointing out the disparity in quality. That's it. No shade. I'm sorry, my sister. I'm sorry. Oh no.
But yeah, my people, Lenny, I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for your time.
I put something aside to be here.
Yeah, man, you brought what I really wanted to get from this whole conversation. You brought that female perspective to it, and it looks like we might have to continue because we keep on getting comments there. I think
they coming in.
Parenting scenario, the gender of a child would need to be considered. For instance, a daughter being raised by a father at some point in her physical development would definitely need a female assistance to handle certain things like period pads, bras, etc.
Agreed.
That's Dr. Joseph's perspective, and I think that I kind of happened on this discussion. Hey, Pastor Cameron, how are you doing this evening? The discussion here we're talking about is who would be the better parent out in a single family household knowing that the ideal family raising mother and father would be the ideal scenario for raising our kids,
Man, woman, and child.
man, woman, and child. But we were just looking at the perspective of if we have a parent that's gone out of the scenario, who would be the better person in raising said child? So we were having that. That's where our discussion is at. So apparently, Drew, we have more people tuning in. So we're not gonna cut off right away. So we're gonna keep this thing rolling.
Okay.
Yes, Lenny, go ahead.
You were saying who would be the better parents,
Yes.
but I think saying that who would be the better parents, it's it's kind of throws it off to a certain extent. I'm thinking we could maybe say who does a better job, who's doing a better job. But do you
Okay.
think that is a better parent? Because based on your situation, you have to do what you have to do, That's what I think. If father not there, you
Well,
have to do
well,
it. If mommy not there, you have to do it.
well, Sister Lenny, that's really in essence, because the title is a little controversial, yes, but in essence, what you're
Hmm.
asking is the question that we're asking, right? Like
Okay.
statistically, what are the outcomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what prompted this
Okay.
discussion, amongst the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the League of Extraordinary Fathers? What prompted this discussion is because these statistics are showing, right? This is not just our opinion.
Drew getting a call. It's like, okay, Drew and I,
Oh. Hmm.
we had this discussion a couple weeks now, and it
Hmm.
prompted us to find out who would do a better job or be the better parent, as you said, or better job at parenting
Hmm.
a child in
Hmm.
that scenario. And that's
Hmm.
why we decided to come live with this, because it's like we've seen our society falling short. We've seen the growth and the disparity in our society today, and we just wanted to
And
get
then,
people's opinion, people's ideas, people's thoughts flowing as to know, well, how can we better our society? Because the ideal
hmm,
society, we need mother and father raising kids. That's the
yes,
ideal.
yes, yes.
But
Hmm.
when there is no ideal, what can we do
Hmm.
to offset the ideal? Who would give better instruction in the growth and the output that we put in
Hmm.
our society as parents
Hmm.
to our children? Because we want to put the best thing out there. We don't want to half-ass it. We don't want to take away, but we know that the system or the matrix has
Hmm.
designed it where most of our fathers who are supposed to be the disciplinarians in our children's lives are locked up in jail, dead. They are
Hmm.
out. They are
Hmm.
deadbeats, as we consider them to be.
I'm
Hmm.
sorry. Can you guys hear me? My back.
Yeah,
I had
yeah,
a
yeah. We can hear you. Yeah.
sorry, and not to cut you, but again to dovetail onto your point there, so we can fly higher. Another part of the statistic that's out there now is that there is a high percentage of mothers that are preventing the father from being in the child's life.
You think? Well, I know
Oh.
that too. I know that too, because a lot of the mothers be like, oh, I don't want to deal with Mister, and so then they make the child even hate their father.
There is
The
a
child now
high
wants to be
percentage
Hmm.
of
around
this.
that dad, because why? The mother is resentful of that man. So resent also brings a lot of disparity in our children upbringing as well. Because go
And
ahead.
another thing I think that contributes to the fathers to not being around is the whole thing of mothers having children, and they use it as a way to get money out of men.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
They use
Yeah.
it as
Hmm.
that's my, how do you call it? How do you call it?
My
That's
money.
my that's this
And I am
the
so
term that they
glad.
use.
I
Ah,
am so
yeah,
glad it's
something like to that a certain extent.
I am so glad it's you that bring up the point and not me.
Right, right, right,
I'm so
right.
glad it's you that say and
We
not me.
we were- we were thinking it,
Because it is
but you
true.
said it.
It is true.
Yes, yes.
Well, it is true because I mean, in a lot of situations, that's what women do.
Hmm.
And you know me, I can only speak from my level. I remember my mother telling me, "Lenny, you do not bring a man to court to mine."
To mine
Oh,
his
the
child.
matrix cut her off, but we know we get her point. We get her
Wow,
point.
that listen, if that was the last thing she said tonight, fire
Court to mine his child.
to mine his
Hey,
child. Wow, to my wow, to my sister Lenny. I never heard that before, but thank you. That is fire. That is the perfect way. You don't try to mine a child.
through the court system.
You're trying to extract value from a man through a child. Even the saying
Mhm.
it in that fashion, you hear the wickedness of it.
That's
Mm.
our term that
Wow.
we use. That's a term that we use here.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's
That
a
was a
term
good
that we
one.
use here.
So
I
we
love
we
it.
have
That was
some
a good
comments.
one.
Yep.
Let us get to those comments we got there real quick. We're gonna start. Mr. Francois, good evening. I'm at the opinion that single doesn't others does a better job in raising a child. Like probably
He was
retype that one there again, Mr.
Single
Francois, so
what?
we can get.
no. He was
I
saying
heard
mother.
the
He was
error.
saying he was saying mother. He was saying mother.
Oh, okay. Oh, single mother does a better
Hmm.
job in raising a child. Okay, cool, get you. And then now we have first of all, children raise parents. Uh,
I had to laugh at that one, but it's true to a certain
Hmm.
extent. It's true to a certain extent.
children raise parents.
Yeah, because
Or
listen,
they bring out that
Hmm.
adulthood in parents.
yes. Because listen, we all learn from each other. So,
Mm,
to a certain extent, to be the best parent that you can be, you have to learn from your child.
from your child. So
You
okay,
have
and
to
then
learn of your child.
we have another comment. Children need both influence to contribute to a stable, well-rounded individual. Even if the child lived
True.
with one parent, the involvement of the other parent should be strongly emphasized. In the
Yes.
absence of a
True.
father, the
Of
female
pills.
parent should find a male figure to help that child. Exactly. This is a great
Yes.
discussion. I would advise other sessions. We
Wow.
do have other sessions, Pastor Cameron.
Yes,
We
this is
will.
this is part one.
This is part one. So if you want to be a part of part two, you all know, send me a message in the inbox, or you can send a comment here now, and I will definitely want to include you because we want to get a perspective based opinion. We don't want just a
Hmm.
one sided thing because I can be one sided with my thing. Drew can be
Hmm.
one sided.
Hmm.
Lenny can be one sided. But we want to get
Hmm.
an opinion based perspective because we want to bring
Hmm.
out better children for the future.
And
True. That's
I just
true.
want to point out, Dr. Bones, that we are centering this discussion in today's time,
Yes.
2024. What's happening today? Not what should be happening, what was happening, but what is happening. We talking about the
No.
state of the melanated union right now because like we discussed in the beginning of this conversation, we are overly concerned for our children. So of course, the topic, it may be a little controversial, it may rub your shoulders a little bit wrong, but the purpose of this is the healthy nurturing and training of the children in
Of
our
our children.
community because this is our community of the future, you see.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if we looking at today's problem, what's happening in our community, what are these outcomes, we all know, if we just want to be honest, something is not right. So
Hmm.
we having this solution based conversation, and we're asking if the strain of single motherhood, of the child being primarily in the household of the mother, is producing these outcomes, could it be possible that in the event that the father is present, if the child was to reside primarily with the father, not excluding the involvement of the mother, because statistically, most men operate in a fashion where the mother is included, she's not denigrated, she's celebrated, and she's a participant. So we're saying in the structured household of the father, if he's present, he's healthy, he's available, would the outcomes that we are seeing in society today shift to a more positive versus the negative that we have? So we just basing it in today's time.
I think so.
And Pastor Cameron said he would love to come on our part two, and we would welcome you, my pastor.
Perfect.
Then there's another lady who said, I believe any one parent can raise a child. Yet, because of the Bible foundation of family, it is healthier to have both parents. But with the decay of society, even that can't work. Hey, you see these commenters tonight? I would like to applaud you guys.
You guys are very good, very
sharing
engaged.
your
Yes,
thoughts, because if without you guys, our program would be of no use. But we see that we
True.
have, apparently we realize that we have a problem in our society today. Apparently we as parents, we as people realize that we have a problem in our society. And our problem can be fixed with having both individuals involved in our children's upbringing. So
That's true.
we see the problem, we know how to fix the problem, but we need everybody to get on board in fixing this problem. This problem is not going to get fixed by me just coming on live here and talking. This problem is going to take a community effort. It's going to take all hands on deck effort to get a better output into our society today, because our society has gone down the drain.
of course.
And it's all by design.
Of
to where
course.
the matrix is trying to destroy our communities.
Yes.
You get my point. The matrix is trying to take away from the Black community and make it to where we are second class, because they know if we come together as one, we can take over. Statistics show that whether it's a father only, mother only, or both parents, children know. I just believe that they are having a healthier male and female presence in any child's life will communicate with the community and work. Okay. You know?
Well, what you're saying is right. Healthy male, healthy female. That would be the most positive outcome. But when we talk about today's society, is that what is presently available?
No, because a lot of the mothers degrade the fathers in front of their children. Degrade them.
True. That's
So
true.
when we talk,
I can tell you that because I've seen it happen.
of course, but listen, this is now. It would be one thing, right, if these were like one-offs, like. But if we were to go on Google now, right, and Google it, or even just go on social media and start to scroll, let's say TikTok, you're gonna find an overwhelming sense of this. The fathers are not needed. That because the father is this, the father is that, or this, is better than not in a child's life whatsoever. This is what the overwhelming mindset is that is going through social media. So, and it's coming from the perspective of the single mother. This cannot be healthy for a child, because we know by natural design that both a man and woman is needed for a healthy upbringing. Now, in retrospect, right, if you would go onto social media and do the same search, let me just scroll through TikTok and see how many fathers we see engaging in this same activity. I submit to the committee that you will find little to none of this behavior. Now, social media, or like my brother said, the matrix is forever. This is not going away. This is the normalcy of present day life. You cannot get away from the internet. You can't get around it. And our children are on these apps. They're on these platforms, and they are consuming this narrative.
And they do it whether or not you know or not. They sneak it into there. They sneak it in. So we
So
have to just be prepared for that.
right.
Let me give you a comment there real quick. The
Go ahead.
solution is for the men to take up their roles as fathers, and most of the problems we are facing will be solved. And I agree with
Wow.
that comment. It is not available.
Wow.
It's not available that we can pass the negative and find
That's
that
true.
healthy person. The influence of a child upbringing cause it's going to get worse. There's
These are the times that we live in.
oh shit. These are the times we are living in. Start with a healthy
Mm.
single environment before the kids. Plenty of good parents are too busy for social media. It's
Wow. I see what you did there, Selena Scott. I
it's
see what
us
you did
against
there.
them. Yet we fight each other. Hey,
Selena, I saw what you did there. That was a nice little trick bag. I saw what you did there. You said plenty of good parents are too busy for social media. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they?
I have I have
Where
a
is this
question.
group?
go ahead,
Yes.
Lynn.
I have
Go
a
ahead, Lynn.
I don't know if it's a question, but I'm just gonna say it. I'm just asking, as a mother and you all are fathers, do you think that okay, seeing that we do not have, or in a lot of cases, the father figure is not wrong. Do you think that fathers do not want to be in their children's lives, or
No.
the mothers are preventing them from being in their children's life?
So, Sister Lenny, if I could chime in, and then Dr. Bones, you could, you know. So, Sister Lenny, I want to
Mm-hmm,
tackle the deadbeat father elephant that's in the room, because that elephant is in the
mm-hmm,
room, and I know it's here, and I want to point it out and address it.
mm-hmm,
So, 2 generations ago, when the welfare epidemic started, and it looked like it was a good look. Okay, this is going to be beneficial because we're going to get resources. The father stays out the home, but he's still interacting. The next generation after
mm-hmm.
that, it went from that to, oh, I'm getting these resources and I don't
Need
need
your
the
father no more.
father.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
before the 80s baby generation, right, there was sort of a balance. But our generation growing up suffered greatly from the absence of the father. So you have a greater
mm-hmm,
percentage of our generation, the products of the 80s and late 90s, because we're the actual parents of today, right? So,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
late 90s going into 2000s, they're the next generation up. But our generation,
mm-hmm,
the 80s babies and early 90s babies, are the parents of today.
mm-hmm,
A greater
mm-hmm.
percentages of the fathers who suffered from not having the father in the home, they do not want to repeat
Mm-hmm.
that cycle. So you have more active, engaged father. Now, I don't usually reference Oprah and I don't usually quote Oprah, but at one point in time in history, Oprah was a champion of the deadbeat father conversation. But more recently, as recent
Okay.
as the year before last, she had to recant her
Mm-hmm,
deadbeat statements about melanated fathers, and she had to put it out to the public like, no,
mm-hmm.
melanated fathers are actually the most engaged, the most purposeful, and the most
Okay.
involved in their children's lives. So, what is left?
Mm-hmm.
What's left is incarceration, dead, or they are
Yeah.
being
True.
prevented by the mother for whatever reason, because there's a whole
True.
laundry list that we can see online why they're prevented.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Bones, you have something with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As we keep on saying, the society has shifted. The mothers have tried to, okay, the matrix has put in their brain that we don't need a father for our kids. We don't need them around because why are we going? If you bring them in, your child support is over with. You can
Mm.
no longer get that support. You can, So whereas, okay, for instance, a father might be paying child support $200 a month, right? Is that sufficient to raise a
Mm-hmm.
child? Is that sufficient? That's
Mm.
the question
No.
that we ask
No.
in
No.
society right now. Is $200? Is $400? Is that sufficient enough to raise a child? That means you, as a parent, now have to go and, as a mother, now have to raise a child, still go and get work to do because why you need extra income. Whereas when we had the family household where the father was there helping in a better
You have two incomes.
way, you had you was there now to more raise your child, but now you have to indoctrinate your child, put your child in school, keep them away. You know,
Daycare at 2 years old.
Good, not even 2 years old, not even two.
I know.
Brother, I know this one girl. She just had a baby, and her child is in daycare right now.
Already.
You get what I'm saying? Like
you can't even bond fully.
You can't bond with your kids because why? You don't have the money to maintain them. You have to go and get a job because why? Child support can't help you. And the instant you bring the father
and
back,
that's where
go ahead, lady. Go ahead. I'm listening.
and that's where the family structure comes in because it is broken. If a family structure, daddy can say, boy, let me go and do the little hustle while mommy home taking care of things at home. He can do his two little jobs and at the same time he can still squeeze in the little love and the attention. But then you have a structure. You have something that you're building. You have something that you're nurturing. And at the same time, you taking care of yourself, the mother taking care of, and your children, your household is building.
So I just believe, we have to. There was a comment that Pastor Cameron just left there. Let me just read that comment. We got several comments.
Yeah, the comments is flying in. I've been watching it.
We've been missing out. So Pastor Cameron hit us with this one. We have departed from an integrated society where every child in the community belongs to all of us.
Wow.
I was
reprimanded
by my uncle one day, and when I decided to cut school, not only that, he reported me to my parents. I probably would not have gotten as far as educationally had it not been for that father.
Wow.
So you see, again, we said that in the beginning, that society needs to raise the kids and not just one person.
It takes a community.
It takes a community.
True.
It takes a village to raise one child.
Wow.
Whereas now in today's society, we're so locked up in a damn house that nobody else can see our child. Oh, my child not going over by Mr.
Wow.
This or that.
Yeah.
And that is where our society has come today.
Technology too. What we know about having tablet, Richie? We don't know about tablet. We know going at the back road and play marble and roller set. We don't know about tablets. That's what we know. So then you had no socializing.
Good.
The tablet I know was what my grandmother used to sell on the side on the road. Come and buy your Amazon tablet. Not cheese tablet.
There you go.
That's the tablet
There
I
you
know.
go.
Nowadays the children are them so fast. They know how to scroll up and down on your phone without even teaching them a thing.
And they're little so.
Let my little boy know how to then scrolling on phone. Give him my phone and he's scrolling. View faster than me.
Okay.
I know how to scroll
okay. And pressing.
He calling up. The man calling Dominica, calling his mother, calling his grandmother, calling everybody.
Yeah.
But he calling. So that is where our society has gone. We have lost that connection with each
that's
other.
true.
We have
Great point, Pastor Cameron. Great point.
My people, in order for us to get back to society today, we have to put down these phones, put down these things, and come back and join one another. Stop backbiting each other.
Stop. See eye to eye.
Stop making one another feel, well, you smaller than me, or I bigger than you, or I this than you, or whatever the case may be. We have to come back as a society and join one another and share with each other the love that we used to have before. Like Pastor Cameron said, his uncle scolded him, and by the time he reached home, his mother don't know, his mother ready to beat him, his father ready to beat him again.
And next meeting again. True.
You get what I mean? And that is how we were brought up. But now today, one correct somebody child on the side road now. The child might knock you down, the mother and father might come and knock you down.
Yeah.
That is how
they're gonna jump you.
That's how it working.
But they're They're going to call them all and the whole gang coming on you,
Who
eh?
gonna fight with you? Instead of
That's
the gang come and try to correct this child, they
True.
come out to fight you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to be on your P's and Q's because you
True.
scared. You don't want to go and tell nobody child nothing because you're afraid.
Now,
True.
listen.
That's
Now,
true.
listen.
True. That's
These
true.
all these points that we are touching on right now are evidence of the downgrade in
In
our
our
present
society.
society.
Mm-hmm.
The downgrade in our present society.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with what we discussed with the evolution of the welfare system and the concentrated effort to remove the father from the equation, we can see a common denominator of where our problem lies. So the question that I think is now another elephant in the room is, how do we reverse this action and reinstitute the father back into the equation? How do we reinstitute the father's role in the not only the house, because the house is just a representation of society.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can't remember who said it, but they said a strong father builds a strong home, and in turn builds a strong community.
Yep.
Because if you have a community of if you have a community of strong homes, you have a strong community.
Community.
So how do you now reinstitute that back into society? Because we see the outcome of it being taken out. So how do you put it back in? How do you reinstate that father role in society where he is? Because and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think what we are all saying in kind of a roundabout way is that the head of the structure needs to be put back into place.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody said the other day, if you have two heads, you have a monster.
Mm-hmm.
So you can only have one head. And with the natural position of the man, now this is not an opinion, this is the natural position of the man through nature, society, however, the man is the first line of defense, the first figure of the protection and the provision for the family. So with him being removed, and we see the detriment, we see the deficiency that has been produced from this, how do we reverse this and reinstitute the role of the man?
Well, Drew, that gonna be our next part 2, you know.
Part 2.
That gonna be our next part 2 because trust me, we can't cover that tonight.
We can't. Because I know my good sister Scott is going to be in the comments dropping more chats than we can read. So we're gonna have to bring that part 2 into effect. But I think that we have got this conversation off to a great start.
Mm-hmm.
We done took a couple of laps tonight. We got some great engagement. My sister, she brought out some outstanding points that if we had brought it out, it may have appeared that we were just overly biased. But my sister has shown herself to be such a level-headed individual and such a great sport. The contribution, I don't think we could have had anything better tonight.
And you were saying that you was gonna do for her, and she did for you instead of you do for her.
Hey, right? Listen, man, she raised up my vibration.
Yeah, man. So
I'm just being realistic. That is the reality, you know.
Yes, my sister. Yes, my sister.
People, I wanna thank you guys for supporting in the comment. Let me read a few comments before we cut out.
Dr. Bones, that last comment, you gotta touch that, my brother. I just saw it. I said, wait, you gotta touch that before we get out of here. You gotta touch that. That last comment is wow.
The father's name. Now, why not make the man the first and most responsible?
Woo! I'm a screenshot that for next week. My brother, Wednesday Choice Spot. Yeah. Man, that was fire. That's one way to end it off, my brother.
So
wow.
So my people, I just got to end it right now because why? We can't keep giving you all food. We want you all to think some more.
You gotta digest some of it. You gotta digest some
comments, and Next week we're gonna be doing this again because why? It's a conversation that is needed for our community to develop. It's a conversation that is needed for us as Black people to become a better society, a more inclusive society. And a community is stronger when they have men raising their kids because the output is a greater output. So, Lenny, say your comment, and then Drew, say your comment, and then we'll end here for tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna close by saying one of the things I have been doing, or whenever because I don't really have girlfriends, I more have male friends. I always encourage the fathers to spend time with their children. I always do. I always tell them it's not about a dollar that you can give or you can bring a little something. Spending quality time with your children, that is very important because as parents, we're supposed to create good memory in our children, things that even when they get older they can remember, daddy did this and daddy did that. So I'm just calling on all the fathers to take the time out and spend quality time with your children. They need you, they need your presence, they need to know that daddy is there, and they need to know that when something is wrong they can call on daddy. So to the fathers, to the single fathers, thumbs up to you. Big up yourself. Continue. Richie, I know you already. Nice meeting you, sir. It's the first time I'm meeting you.
Likewise.
I know
Yes.
Richie. Richie is, he's a solid man. I know he can hold his ground. So big up to
Yes.
you and big up to the other gentleman. And just continue doing what you're doing. And you start, so whatever, you can give to our fathers, whatever support you can give to them, just give it. The most you can do is give a word of advice. It's up to them to take it. But the best we can do, at least for now, is to give it out, put it out there. Somebody must pick up something, as they would say. You can't tell me a whole show will go up and nobody will learn anything. Somebody
Mm.
will learn something. So let's just continue to go forward. And fathers, do your part. That's my
Wow.
part.
Wow. Sister Lenny, I appreciate that. And everything you said, I agree and I align with 1,000%. Like we said in the beginning of this program, myself and Dr. Bones, we have been in concert with each other for over 20 years. Like I said, we belong to the League of Extraordinary Fathers, and we're there by choice, not by force. Tonight, I believe that we opened up a very um, hot topic. And our
Mm-hmm.
intention in this space is to be solution oriented. We know, I'm going to say for myself, I know that the only true dynamic for a healthy community is the strong bond between man, woman, and child. And the most important in that
True.
equation, in that dynamic, is the child, because the child is the innocent party. They are
Mm-hmm.
the future, and they need to be trained
Mm-hmm.
every step of the way because they are new here on this earth and they need to know the right way to go to be a productive member of their community. And because they belong to the
Mm-hmm.
melanated community, which is down now, we are way behind the goal line. And we have a ways to go to get our society back upright. So for us to produce these quality people who will assist in the process of bringing the melanated community back into where it should be, in a position where they can grow and be more than what they are now, we have to put the dynamic back into a right position where the man has his role, the woman has her role, and in essence, we are able to train the
Mm-hmm.
child up in their own role. So I really look forward to part two.
True.
I'm very excited about the engagement in the comments. My sister Scott, she had me on my toes over here. I was really waiting to see what she was gonna say next. So I trust she's gonna be back here next week. I really put it out there
She
that
said
we
we
would
need for
love to.
part two.
Man, we would love to have you on the panel. But all the participants that drop comments, it really shows. And I want to say that it's mostly our generation that's here in this chat. So it really shows where our mindset is. We really intend to be upright individuals. And I think with more conversations like this, we're going to get there as a community. Dr. Bones.
Yeah, man. I'd like to thank you guys for participating, for even welcoming and entertaining the idea of this whole scenario. You know what I mean? Because our society and for us even realizing that our society has fallen and now we need to get it back on track. Because without us realizing that our society has gone down the drain, we can't bring nothing back on track. So we
can't do anything.
That there's an issue. And
realize it.
Realization is here right now. So we have realized that. So now we are here to speak out, try to figure out solutions amongst ourselves to get our problem fixed. So because at the end of the day, we can come up here and talk a bunch of nonsense. I can come up here, play music, I can come up here and do anything. Put up a picture of a woman with kind of stupidness. But is that bettering our society?
I know.
Is that empowering our people? So I am not just here for the fun and the glory. I am here for fun as well, but I am also here to empower my people in my community because I am owed that responsibility. I have a platform, I have a voice, and I'm going to use my voice. I'm going to use my platform to empower my people in my community. I would like to thank you guys for giving us the support in the comments, for also coming on live and showing your faces and showing that we are not scared to show that we have a problem and we are here to provide a solution or to get answers to get a solution for our problem. So we're gonna come to it part 2. You always see the advertisement coming out pretty soon. And I would like to thank you guys again, and anybody who wants to join in the fight or join on the platform.
I need another mother.
and show your face.
Yes, even it out.
You guys do not Lenny and Andrew, don't come off the live. I will cut off the live, but I will keep you guys, just stay where you guys at. So thank you all for supporting. Next week we're gonna try this again next Saturday at 7 p.m. We're gonna try part 2 again. So anybody who wants to come on the stream, shoot me a message on Facebook and I will be there. We're gonna try to get more statistics. Dr. Joseph, if you got some statistics you could send to me, I would appreciate it. And anybody else who does, send them across to me. Pastor Cameron, Mr. Francois, Selena Scott, we got Winsty Choice, and all the other viewers who are here. I appreciate you guys and thank you guys for coming and showing your support, because without you, we will be nothing. Have a blessed evening, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Randy,
take care.
Join me live. Bye, folks.
Take care.